Welcome back to another episode. This is Easy Coding for Beginners, and as always, my name is Sam. If you joined us in the previous episode, we talked about the link tag, which in essence defines the relationship between the current HTML document and an external resource. In this particular episode, we are going to focus on another tag, which is still an empty tag similar to the link tag. Now, for those people who have not watched the link tag episode, you can actually click on the link here so that you can go and watch the full video, and why we call the link tag an empty element. So here again, we're going to tackle another empty element called meta. Now, the meta tag still appears under the head element. Remember, we talked about the three main tags in HTML. There's the HTML root element, there's the head tag, and then there's the body tag. Now, the meta tag or the meta element is also another empty element that appears within the head tag. And this is the final tag that we'll be talking about when it comes to those elements that appear within the head tag. So what does the meta tag basically do? Now, a meta tag defines metadata information, and what metadata information basically means is data about data. So you have data, and then the data about that data is now what we call meta tag. So some of these data about data specify the character set. Charset basically means character set, but that is an attribute within the meta tag. So it specifies the character set, it specifies the author, it specifies the keywords, it specifies the page description, and the viewport settings basically. Let's go to our construction analogy. Now, when you're building, if you're doing it the right way, there is always that board that is set outside the building construction site where you put who the architect are. You have to highlight, or rather write very clearly who the architect is, who the contractor is, what the sitemap, or rather the plan is, and all that. Now that, in our construction analogy, if we compare it to our HTML meta tag, now that we can refer to it as meta. Yeah, so that signboard, sort of, whatever you put outside your construction site that gives information about the construction itself, can now be referred to as meta. So when you're thinking about meta tags, think of it as that particular signpost outside any construction site. So back to our practicals. Open the My First HTML project.html on your Sublime editor. Now on it, just after the link tag, remember last time we talked about the link tag and we typed something on the link where we linked it to a style sheet. So just below it, I want us to now type the metas that we are going to use in this particular HTML document. So the first thing that you're typing, as you can see on my screen, type the chart. Remember we said we have to also specify the character set, and we have to, in HTML, you'll just learn in HTML what character sets are. So as you can see from my screen, just type meta, open the meta tag. As I said, it's an empty element, so you know how to type it. So I'll type meta charset is equals to, open double quotes, UTF-8, that is a character encoding, and I want you to go and research more about character encoding in HTML. So we've defined and specified what our character set in this case is. It's UTF-8. Then I want us also to give a description. So put the meta for the description, which is open the meta tag. Then give an attribute called name. And under the attribute called name, in the double quotes, put description. Then another attribute, content. Now we can now describe what this page is about. So in this case, just say HTML4 tutorial, right? Just as you can see on my screen, I've typed HTML tutorial. So whenever we'll be searching online, if we upload this particular HTML document online, if you search and get to find this page, the description will be HTML tutorial. I'm sure you've gone to search engines and you've searched. As you can see on my screen, if you go and search, for example, for programming lessons, whatever results that come, as you can see the description in these results in my screen, these are meta descriptions. So it's just basically what we've specified under the description, under the description meta. Now the next meta we are going to specify in this case will be keywords, but let me just a point to note when it comes to keyword meta. It is dead right now. It's not in use. Most people, they actually, Google and other search engines found that people are misusing this particular meta. So right now, yes, you can have it in your document, but it will not have the impact that you would really want. And now the keyword meta initially was meant to give the topic of that page, and in essence it would help you in your search engine optimization. For those people who don't know what SEO is all about, you can just research and see what SEO is about. So keywords used to help, the keyword meta used to help you in your SEO, but right now the only one that can help you in your SEO is the description meta. The keyword meta is dead, but you can still have it in your HTML document. So just type what I'm typing in my screen: meta, name, keywords, and then the content you can say HTML hyphen CSS hyphen JavaScript. So basically those are just keywords that you think people will search for to be able to get this file, or rather this HTML page that we are coding. The next meta I want us to also type again would be meta, the author meta. So open the meta, then say name is equals to double quotes author, then go to content. Content is equals to your name. You can give your name. In my case, I'll put Samuel, or I can say easy coding for beginners. So basically this defines who the person writing the HTML document is. So the last meta that we'll deal with is called the viewport meta, as you can see in my screen. So type meta, name is equals to viewport, content is equals to width is equals to device hyphen width, comma, initial hyphen scale is equals to 1.0. Then you close that particular meta. Now let me explain what that basically means. The viewport meta lets you control the width and the scaling of the viewport so that it's sized correctly on all devices, whether desktops or mobile devices. So this particular meta helps you in terms of making sure that your HTML document is responsive to all devices. So whether you're accessing the HTML document using a mobile device or a desktop, your document will actually has the settings to resize itself and adapt to whatever screen resolution that people are accessing the document with. So from that, save the document, save your file, the my first HTML project.html file. Now in the next episode, we'll go to the body tag, and within this body tag, we'll now be able to type in what we will be seeing on the browser that will use the style that we set in the head section, that will use all these metas that we've described in this particular episode. So stay tuned, don't go anywhere, and I hope you've understood the whole essence of the meta tag, which is still an empty element. I would want you to go and do your more research on the attributes and the different types of meta that we have, and I hope you get to understand it, and it is my hope that you've had fun during this particular episode, this tutorial. Until next time, this has been Easy Coding for Beginners. Kudos.